Hey everyone, I'm so excited you guys are here. Hey, have you ever heard a song that it kind of like stuck in your head like all day long and you just couldn't get rid of it? It went over and over and over. Yeah, do you know that there's a word for when that song gets stuck in your head? And it's called earworm. It's a medical term for when you get a song stuck in your head and just repeat it over and over. And so why am I talking about earworms? Well, we're kicking off with a brand new series, and it's called Your New Playlist. We're talking about the things that get stuck in our minds just like an earworm does, right? Instead of a song, we're going to be talking about the thoughts that we think, the words that we tell ourselves, the things that we believe to be true about who we are every day. And that's our playlist. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I wish mine was just a little different and would just go away. Maybe you can relate to that, because the only thing worse than having an annoying song stuck in your head is having a long list of negative thoughts on repeat in your mind. And in that moment, all I want to do is put on some noise canceling headphones so I wouldn't have to listen to all those stupid thoughts that's going on in my brain. It's like 1 minute, everything's just fine. Then the next minute you're thinking, man, how did I end up with all these stupid thoughts and negative thoughts in my head? Maybe it's the big math test that gets your anxiety feeling, and it's like a 11 out of 10, your anxiety. And all you can think about is how stressed it makes you feel. Or tryouts, and you have this feeling so you're so nervous that you almost talk to yourself out of even going and trying out. Or you keep thinking about a fight with your best friend over and over until it becomes the only thing that you can think about. You're trying to do homework, trying to eat dinner with your family, trying to get ready for school, trying to hang out with your friends, trying to sleep. But no matter what, you can't shut off the playlist of negative thoughts running through your mind. We all have these thoughts. Some people call that overthinking, right? That's what happens when what you think gets in the way of basically everything else. Maybe you've heard people say things like, hey, stop overthinking it, or it's all in your head, or hey, it's not that big of a deal. You might even be thinking, that's what I'm going to be telling you, right? But don't worry, I'm not. Because I know choosing wisdom when it comes to our mindset and changing the playlist of our thoughts isn't that easy. So how do we turn down the volume on those negative thoughts that get stuck in our head and repeat over and over, right? The good news, there's something Jesus said during his life and ministry that I think can help us out here. Sure, it was thousands of years ago, but you know what? Jesus came to earth and lived among us and all the people, and that means he dealt with the real things that we deal with today. One of Jesus' closest friends, Matthew, he wrote down what he saw Jesus do and say while he was here on earth. And Matthew wrote down these specific words from Jesus that I think can help us with our overthinking. So look at this. It says, so don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today's trouble is enough today. That's Matthew 6:34. So instead of worrying about yesterday or focusing on tomorrow, Jesus reminds us to just stay focused on today. So when the playlist in your head is filled with a ton of stress and worry, you don't have to have it on. You can choose to turn on the volume up loud or something even better, right? Yes, you create your own playlist. And it starts with focusing your thoughts on what Jesus says is true. It's easier to talk about this than do, right? I know it is for me. Wouldn't it be nice if we could just simply read these words from Jesus and magically apply them to our lives? The reality is this, it's going to take some practice. Changing the playlist in your head is possible, but it won't happen overnight. And it won't happen without some help. That's why I think Jesus said something else that can help us here. See, Jesus knew that we would experience stress, worry, and overthinking. But he didn't just tell us to stop worrying or wait for us to figure it out on our own. Jesus told us what he can do for us when we're worrying. He gave us a way to turn down the volume on all those negative thoughts. Look, he said this, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke and upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. That's Matthew 11:28-30. So you might be thinking, yoke, I don't even like eggs. But here, let me clarify this. Jesus was talking about a yoke, not an egg yoke. It was a word that everybody in his day would have understood because they lived around farmers. A yoke was a wooden frame that fit over the shoulders of the animals, and it would connect them to one another so that they would work together and rely on one another and walk side by side. So in the same way an animal shares the heavy load with another animal with the help of the yoke, Jesus is saying, hey, give me the weight of those those thoughts that are going through your mind. Let me carry the heavy load of your anxious thoughts. I can take that worry on for you. That's how we can change the unhelpful playlist in our minds, by asking Jesus for help with it. You can focus on what Jesus says is true no matter how we feel. We can remember that Jesus will be with us no matter what. That's how we turn up the volume on a new playlist in our minds. When Jesus can help you create your playlist. So here's the question. What are you overthinking? I think all of us want to turn down the volume on these negative thoughts. To start, ask yourself these three questions. Is the thought true? Is the thought helpful? Is the thought kind? If you answer to any of those questions is no, then that's your sign it's time to turn the volume down. And here's one way you can do this, right? Replace that playlist with a better one. You can replace those old thoughts on that old playlist with new ones that tell you the truth. Start by remembering yourself what's true about you. Things like, I am loved, or Jesus cares about me, or Jesus is with me. In the Bible, we find a whole book called Psalms. The Psalms are songs and poems written by several different people. Look at this psalm where the writer shared about replacing negative thoughts with truth. When doubts filled my mind, your comfort gave me renewed hope and cheer. Psalms 94:19. So, are you tired of those negative thoughts? Then ask Jesus for help and just make a new playlist. All right? All right. Say, if you heard something you liked in this today, hit that like button, or hit the subscribe button. You get these every week, And tonight, right, we're having all kinds of stuff happening here today. So you might want to join us for Christmas Eve. We have we have 4, 5, 6, 7, and you can be there. And most of all, hey, Jesus loves you, and I love you. And if you're by here, stop in. I'd love to talk to you. All right, talk to you later. Bye.